my precious buddies. So do we have some adventures ahead of us? Now I'm getting to my spot where I'm supposedly going to have some fishing, a lake. I was there twice in the winter and it was both good and bad, kind of unclear. My dad told amazing stories about it. I want to try it out. I was very young when I visited. We used to walk there. We would leave the snowmobile. My dad had an old one, homemade from a Planet 5. Yeah, that's the kind of road you come across. Basically, I'm going there. I haven't been there in the summer yet, so it's an adventure for me. I think I'll share this adventure with you. I also want to say something about Bolivar Feofanovich. We have a problem. And the problem is what the temperature sensor is showing. I went out for the first time, moved something around, and it was fine. I have it set up directly. The radiator is frequently on, which is a common setup for many people. But there's a problem. If a wire suddenly detaches or something else happens, you need to check if it's working. My sensor doesn't work now. Alright, looks like it's spinning. Let's go, guys. I think it will be interesting. We're both interested. I arrived at the road. I was driving on a road that I've been on before and ridden a snowmobile on. I was here in the winter on a snowmobile. I don't know what kind of surface is here. I couldn't find any information about how or what it is. Maybe there are rocks here. Maybe there's a swamp here, but I checked and there are 2 swamps there. The route will go to the lake, not to the lake, but to the swamp. And then from the swamp to the lake, it's about 5 kilometers. So let's try to get as far as we can. You know why? As far as we can. Because I have a big boat, but my motor is small. Well, it's like 2.5 horsepower and a ton of different stuff, a tent and all sorts of things. I hope that we will stand strong and endure, because we have a goal that we are striving for. Alright friends, let's go. I'll be filming if there are any interesting moments or if things get tough or difficult. Look friends. Isn't it amazing? Everything is so wild here, and we even have some animals coming out, most likely a beaver. Finally, I made it to this lake. There's the stream I paddled down to get here. By the way, I got a bit carried away with fishing and drifted away from there. The lake is so dark, overgrown, you can see the shores are all covered. Flooded, because the beavers ruin everything here. So, the task is to get to the island. There are 2 islands on this lake. I'll be spending the night on one of them. It's small, and I don't even know. I've only been there in winter. I don't know its size or what it's like now. So, anyway, we'll see. We'll get there. I'll fish here, Jack. This spot is really overgrown. I'll be honest with you, friends. I've already gotten to know this lake. I don't know how to show you. There's a crocodile swimming in this lake. Some unknown kind of fish, perch, striped, damn, and the lake itself. I know it's deep where I'm being carried. Basically, there are snags like that here. Well, it's interesting. Let's see what I can do here, what we can do together, because Nikolov is not Vishalov. I don't see anything here for nets. Of course, I've only examined one part of it so far. So, we'll be trolling, and I mean trolling and fishing, basically casting and jigging. Let's see what's here and how. The main task is to set the self-traps, and then wait for bites, and check them. If nothing happens, I still enjoyed myself. It's just that, in this situation... Oh, I'll live here on the island, I'll get through this dark night, we have these dark nights and so on. Alright, let's go friends, you see what's happening, how beautiful it is. Such a lake, I think it's interesting, but it needs to be explored. She's cunning, I think. She's really cunning. Here's that view again. Look, I cast the jig and immediately got a bite. Right away a small perch, not tiny. Grabbed it. The main challenge now is not to get too focused on fishing, which is difficult. The main thing for me now is to make it to the spot, and I have a ton of stuff with me. As you can see, I have the jig on an offset hook and I get bites immediately. Got one. fish. Well, we've got fish, friends. Perch is attacking the jig, which is good. I have an offset hook hidden in the body of the lure. It's silicone. Oh, what a one. Guys, I just caught a nice perch. I'm not even adjusting the lure. Oh, a bite. Now I'm really interested. At least there are fish here, at least perch. And that's pretty cool. You see, a spinner here. A spinner. Well, you can't really cast any other lure here, but with a weedless lure, you can have some fun here. Wow, look how dark you are. I'm still wearing these glasses, so well, here you go. Fishing with a rod until evening will be great, but remember, our current task is to catch bait fish. Alright, let's try under the log. Yeah, a small perch attacked, but it couldn't even get off the hook. Yeah, well, what can you do? Oops, oops, oops. Damn, someone's been here. There's a really clear track here. I'll show you now. You hear that? Yeah. A little perch is chasing the jig. The key is to keep moving and explore the vast and intriguing lake. You need a jig? Of course, you need a smaller one. So that's later. I mean, I'll get everything. I'll stock up later. It's just for now. Right now I have a temporary setup. So, friends, please don't judge me too harshly if I make some mistakes. A small perch is biting, just enough to pull the rod with the jig. Alright, let's move on. I just saw a scene like this in the stream, a pike. In the stream, a pike chased someone. There were real splashes. Let's try now. There's grass there, of course. This is the spot here for sure. Got one. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, wow.
I've got an offset hook there.
Just don't catch a submarine.
Of course, I've got my little fox. Oh, what a beauty.
Got it, friends. My first pike on a spinning rod. Man, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. This is really awesome. A pike. Woohoo. See, I noticed it, timed it right, and nailed it. Pike, thank you. The pike is probably NA. I think I'll use a jig on this lake because everything here is overgrown, as you can see. Yeah, well, you... The wind, of course. Here it is, friends. The beauty, the beauty. Here I met the lake. Hello, lake. So, of course, I have all sorts of things in the bucket. I should put it in the bucket. So here, well, let's do it. Well, someone's feathers, someone got torn apart here, guys. Well, alright, right here in this little stream. I'll just... On emotions, let's throw in a bit more. A decent little pike, I liked it. You really had to guess like that, or where it would be? To spot it, yeah. I'm not bragging or anything, I'm just saying that, well, it was just a coincidence to guess and cast it there, to throw it. And catch it. And I see it's feeding. I think maybe it's here. Not alone. Alright, well, damn, you really have to use the oars actively here, because strength... I'll do it now. Here we are, we've entered an interesting stream. Let's take a look now. What do we have here? Damn, now that's a lake. That's what I call wild. And there's a butterfly flying around me. Butterfly, it's all good. I'm being attacked. What's up with you, lady? Well, I'm loaded up. The boat is barely moving, guys. Over there in the distance is my island. I guess I think so. You see a big tree on it. Most likely there will be a spot for a tent and for a campfire and everything else. Let's explore this lake. It's very interesting. It's kind of mysterious. There's a good inlet here and there's pike here too.
Have you already seen that for yourself?
Here's another beaver lodge, but you can see tracks here, new ones, like beavers coming out, or maybe some other animals, but there aren't any fresh gnaw marks or clear signs of beaver activity. Let's see if it's made up only of swamp.
From this side, we see a dry area.
And here is a big tree. It's dying too.
I remember this island. We used to make a campfire here and did all sorts of things like that. Now we'll go around it and see where it's better
to dock, so to speak. I'm also concerned that there isn't a strong wind.
Actually, it's nice right here.
No, let's still go around. Fallen trees, young trees. And this is my island.
It'll be... Oh, the places. Oh, the places. Oh.
Yeah, we probably won't stop here.
Well, here we are, friends.
Well, here I am on the island. It's exactly the kind of place, you know, that's just made for living.
There's definitely a lot of water here. I think it's because of the beavers. It's really different here. Everything just feels different.
And the pike, when I passed through here, well, drove by like this, my boat was standing right here, that's all. The tent will take up this spot. The campfire will probably be somewhere around here. Yeah, we'll clear the grass here and so on, although we could do it here too. The main thing is the wind is blowing that way, so everything is safe, everything looks nice, everything is good. And this tree, friends, do you know what I remembered about it back in winter? Look, there's a nail hammered into it, there's a nail in it. Well, that's interesting. I'm really hungry for something, but that's just how this island is, that's all. Look, a tin can on Ant Island. So it means I wasn't the only one paying attention to these places. There's also a fire pit like this, but the fire will need to be burned. Such a big fire pit, you see, but the fire needs to be burned carefully. Well, yeah, it will be just like that, but it's... Okay, alright, let's start unloading. Well, friends, Robinson Crusoe's notes. Damn it. Alright, now the table. Last time I really liked it. The conditions I was in this year, this time I decided as well. Here is my table. For now I have a kettle here.
I need to clear it, the bucket.
The lamp, of course.
So this is our tackle. All right.
There's no rain expected, so there's nothing to worry about. Groceries. It's hot, but the wind is nice. I got some sugar. So let's just, do an inventory. What do I have? Because when I'm getting ready, I have one thing on my mind. Quadcopter. We definitely have to fly it here. I won't need anything for the mosquitoes. At least for now. Alright, well, I'll take this backpack with me. I'll take this backpack with me. So, let's probably set up the tent. It'll be for the whole... The tent will cover the entire island. I took everything. Of course I carried it all. Oh, the button flew in again. Of course I carried it. I carried everything. It's uncomfortable, it is. Well, you know, underfloor heating, it's not really for warmth, it's just so you can walk comfortably. It's cold at night now. It's cold at night. Let's see. Anyway, I was at this lake in the winter, I'm telling you, I was there. It was hard to get here. I made my way, and, well, honestly, nothing really worked out for me here at all. I set up traps and tip-ups myself, but that was all. I actually came here for burbot.
Where's our little door? The door, where is it?
Here's the door. Yes, that's it. Of course. It'll be tough to set up a tent on this kind of ground, but tough is just how we like it.
That's how it is.
So we need to turn a little... This here, I've got a shop on the couch here. Damn. Let's see if we'll need any tensioners. Okay, stop. I think we don't need the door, it's not winter. In winter it's convenient to have a door, but now we don't need doors. Ooh. All the windows are set, everything is good. Now, what do we do? What do we need to do now? Okay, I'm already all confused. No, I think we need to put in stakes, because it's kind of dangerous. Without the stakes, guys, the cot is really heavy. I dragged it and cursed, said I'd rather sleep on stockings. These things are worth it. Also from the company Bereg. Oh, well, they once sent me a big set, for which I'm very grateful to them, but I rarely use it. It's only this season that I started using all of this. Here she is. There are 2 more like this. Stuck here, I can basically sit on it. Even here, outside, today. The main thing is that there isn't a squally wind, because with a squally wind, it's bad. The lake has already made me happy, but you know what, sometimes it happens that you go to the lake, catch some fish right away, and you're satisfied. You catch some fish and feel satisfied, but then nothing bites anymore. Alright, the sleeping bag for now too. Okay, I'll take the backpack with me. There, basically, I've unpacked. Of course, I need to tie the paw after all, because, well, it's kind of dangerous. So it's the same thing here. Oh, it's already wet here. Here's the thing, friends. When you tie the tent, there's more space there.
The tent is laid out.
Alright, now the quadcopter goes back. These are our mugs. Oh, this is our kettle. This is ours. Now we'll cook something to eat. We'll whip something up. I have a little food. All our hope, friends, will be for the Uka. By the way, we'll also need to take an axe with us. I just realized we'll need to take an axe. There's a lot over there.
Dry ones?
We have a lot of dry trees there, small ones, because you see, the whole shore is dry. So we'll have to... So what should I cut on? On the bucket, of course. I don't have a cutting board. No, but at least the mosquitoes aren't biting. You know, the wind is nothing. The wind isn't strong, at least for now. I didn't bring food this morning, but that's fine. We'll have fish soup, eat, and continue. So I packed up my camp, my spot, my Robinson style place. Hotel, jeez, I tied everything up like this because the wind did it all. Overall, the place is interesting and cool. If it wasn't windy, I'd be flying my drone now. So here's the deal right now. Right now I'm having lunch, then I'll drive over there where there are a lot of rocks. I'll go to the shore there. Oh, there's a real pile of rocks there. Look, it's a very interesting place. You see, I'm driving over there to the shore. There's probably a stream there too. So I'm taking some rocks for the anchor, taking stakes. I need a lot of stakes, and catching some bait fish. And right away I'm setting them up so they're alive. I also need to clean the pike and salt it because it's hot. There's a bit of a breeze, but still, the temperature is interesting for storing food. Well, anyway, that's all nonsense, and the main thing is to eat. And what to eat? Now eat some salo, of course, what else? Come on friends, we've arrived. The lake is really great, and the best thing about this lake is the island. Actually, 2 islands. Well, one of them is a big island, so I don't want any surprises there. Here you can control everything, you can see everything. It feels like it's going to be safe here. That's it. However it turns out, it'll be that way. We'll spend the night, maybe we'll have a good time, maybe we won't, we'll see. Alright guys, enjoy your meal, and here's to fishing. Actually, I thought it would be really hard to get here, but...
Alright guys, I've had lunch.
I'm heading out now to get some stones. I mean, to get an anchor to make stones. No, actually to get stones to make an anchor.
And basically, we're starting to catch live bait with a fishing rod. And so on and so forth. Now I'm going to catch live bait. I'll catch 10 of them, then go set them up, then catch 10 more, set them up again, and so on. I'll catch as many as I need. Of course, you can look for trophies here, ride around in a boat, look for pike and big perch. But my main goal is to do things the way I like and show you everything. 222. The lure is a winter jig, kind of medium sized, and a worm. So we already have some bites. But it's a fry, a very, very, very small fry, but... Oh wow. That's it, it ate the worm. It tangled up the bait. I'm telling you right away, friends, there's not much worm left, so the butterfly is flying again. It feels like it's the only one on the whole lake that's following me, so... The wind isn't calming down. I'm swimming into bays, into little coves. Well, actually, this is where I fish. This is a wonderful specimen, a little roach.
Let's take it.
For live bait is just right. We already have 2 live baits. However, the perch is no longer fresh, but they bite so quietly, like they're not even there. Seems like you don't even need to set the hook, but they ate the worm again. Ate everything. The worm bites just on the jig. Let's try to work in economy mode. Well, yeah. I guess it's some kind of small fry because of those kinds of bites. Yeah, guys, they're light, very good. We finally reached the shore. Things kept getting caught on the seaweed. So well, it was biting on the bare jig for a while and then it stopped.
The planes have dispersed, flying up to 3 at once, amidst a hazy sky. Of course, I thought today that the sky would be clear at night. At least it wouldn't be so dark, even if it was scary. But I guess that wasn't the case.
We're catching bait. Not participating in the process.
I just don't get how they managed to eat the worm.
But that's a minor thing.
Just cast it in, as they say. Let's give it a try. Plotvitsa is a crucial resource, friends.
Well,
we really take care of Plotvitsa. The pike loves Plotvitsa. Very, very much.
well, you know, it's like this. Oh, it's biting right away.
Right now, we're at a stage that's not too interesting, because we're catching bait fish. And catching bait fish is kind of like a complex job. Come on, let's go. Here's a bigger roach, but it's still for bait.
Alright, we already have 4.
Let's try over there. Things are going well for us. There's some bold fish there. We're getting bites right away. It turns out there's a very high concentration of fish, but they're small and they're constantly trying to steal. The worm! No way, but... Did everyone eat the worm? Let's check.
On the momishka. They're biting on the momishka. Let's see.
Okay, well, they're not biting as eagerly on the mormishka. I stood right here in this spot because there's no wind here. Fishing for resident fish can also yield a good catch.
And it will count toward your total.
And everyone will be happy. Well, you see, clearly they're biting, really biting, but they eat the worm.
In one go.
We're spinning around for some reason. Oh, I forgot we have an anchor, damn it, friends. I forgot too. Let's try throwing it farther. Alright.